welcome back in to the Scramble Drill podcast. I am Ben. Across from me is Landon. We took a week off, mainly because I needed it for my own mental health. I still haven't fully recovered, but the NFL doesn't stop, Landon.
People, Ben has a lot of good qualities. One of them is not handling fantasy losses well. You didn't want to hear from Ben last week. That would have just not been fun for anyone. You didn't want to hear that.
No,
We've had a week where we're back. I'm super excited to talk football because it's been that 2 weeks. And it's playoff time. I know Christmas technically just happened. No, it didn't. It's about to happen. This is Christmas for us.
Yeah, no, my Christmas was ruined. I'll give you, I don't handle them well. I think I could handle them better if I had any semblance of success somewhere. Like if I had a success story, I could handle the devastation better. But my fantasy career is all sadness.
That last Puka touchdown in week 17 lost you 2 different leagues. That doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great.
No. And it's not the first time in history this has happened to me. So
no.
Anyway, let's not drudge up old rooms. I'm back. I'm locked in. I'm ready to talk real NFL. I'm excited. Let's go into it. We have a lot to cover. So we had 2 games on Saturday. We're going to skip around a little bit. Normally we go game by game. We're going to talk about one of the games on Saturday and one of the games that happened in the 1 o'clock window on Sunday together because they have incredible amounts of relevance to each other. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers on Saturday to take the lead in the division until the Falcons beat the Saints, which created a 3-way tie for the division lead, which goes to the Panthers because the Falcons split with everybody, but they're 0-2 against the Panthers.
Yeah, so crazy scenario.
What a crazy scenario.
Here's where I'm at with this. What happened this weekend? We should make a rule in the NFL. This can't happen again. We cannot have a game played on Saturday and then 20 hours later, however long later, the division is crowned by a game between 2 teams that are not involved and cannot win the division. There is easy ways against it. All you have to do is anytime you're in a scenario where this could possibly happen, these 2 games happen at the same time. And I get it. ESPN, they got the Saturday games and they probably wanted the games that decided the division. But guess what? This game didn't decide the division. The game that decided the division happened the next day and it didn't even involve these 2 teams. I was pretty upset by this. Like, I hate how this worked out. In the future, anytime that a division is coming down where this could be a possibility, the games just have to happen at the same time. You can't have Baker Mayfield come back, lead a little mini comeback in the 4th quarter, or hold on at the end, I guess is a better way to say it. Hold on at the end, and then he's sitting on his couch the next day seeing if he won the division or not. It has to be going on at the same time, and I hated this. I thought this was terrible. That Tampa Bay wins the game and then lose the division the next day. This can't happen. And I get it. The NFL is always about the product on the TV product. And so if they would have played the Saints-Falcons game at the same time or played it before, then the Panthers-Bucks game wouldn't have meant anything. At least when we watched it, we thought it may have meant the division. Turned out not that way, but I did not like this. The NFL gets a lot of things right. I thought they got this one wrong.
And it's also tough. I mean, you expected, like, the Tampa had to do that, what they did, which was great. But then you have to expect the Saints to go on the road and beat a Falcons team that I got a lot of things negative to say about this team, but they're better than the Saints. So it sucks for...
And Tampa had put himself in that position, right? It doesn't matter.
And a Falcons team that played went 4-0 to the end of the season, by the way. So they were hot as well. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. The Bucs put themselves in this position where these outcomes like if they had the whole time, if they won, their game could have meant nothing. That no matter when you play the games, that's the case. My point is they should be played at the same time. That way, all 4 teams are trying to win wholeheartedly because both these 2 teams still think we got a chance at the division. If you play this game the day before, then the division is decided by 2 teams that are not able to win the division. That's crazy. That should not happen. It's a rare scenario. I don't know if it's ever happened. It probably doesn't happen often, but I would love some rule in place where this is just not the case, where a division cannot be decided in week 18 by 2 teams that cannot make the division. That's a crazy, crazy thing. But that's what we saw this weekend, and I hated it. But
would it make a difference? Like if the Saints and Falcons had been the night game that night, so at least you would.
I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I would rather, and you can't play this. I understand the NFL can't play the Saints game before because then the Bucks Panthers game doesn't mean anything and nobody's going to watch. So I get that, but if you play them at the same time, everybody's trying to win, and you're not sitting around waiting another 24 hours to see if we made the playoffs or not. That did not give me a good feeling. But anyways, we can talk about the actual game now.
And that, I mean, as far as the game goes, I mean, I don't have a ton. I guess I don't know what the word is. Like nobody was, but Baker played well. Bryce played well. I mean, they look like they're evenly matched to each other, and we'll talk about this when we get to the playoff. Obviously, neither one of these teams. I get what you're saying about that the whole scenario.
No, they're going to lose.
One of these teams,
they're not making
to win a playoff game.
They're not making any noise, and they're not good teams. Like I've always thought, hey man, you win the division. You get a playoff game. That's just what you get a home playoff game because you won the division. I have kind of turned on that a little bit. Like watching these games, I've said it all year. If you watch just watch any Panthers drive that doesn't take place against the Falcons, okay? Because throw those out. They're the greatest show on turf when they play the Falcons. But when they don't play the Falcons, Canales knows, man. Like I like Bryce. Everyone in the building and Canales and probably even Bryce himself knows he's not the guy. You can just watch how they call plays, how they conduct an offense, that they know he's not good enough. He's limited. He is, I mean, it's the problems that Miami's running in. Yeah,
he's not
It's the problems
limited,
Miami's running into with Tua. I mean, they're just limited physically at this point. And you can see Canales calling the game that way. That's why all their games are boring. I say they have the most boring games in the world. Like I was pulling for them. I live in North Carolina. I'm not a Panthers fan, but I got a lot of friends and family that are. So I was pulling for them, but it's just hard to watch. And it's just because they're so limited at quarterback. And obviously they don't have great weapons either, right? Like the Rico Dowdle honeymoon little Linsanity run has seemed to cool off a bit, Ben. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, and I'm really happy. I tried to trade for Rico in multiple fantasy leagues. I'm like, I just need one more flex piece. Thank you to everyone who didn't.
Yeah, that would have been great. I think he's on what, like a 1 year, $3 million deal or something. So, but anyways, yeah,
something like that.
For the Tampa Bay side, I'll give some credit to the Panthers, right? They made the playoffs. Like, that's the credit I'll give them. And you can look at this and say, hey, man, they have LA. They got the Rams at home. They've played the Rams at home this year and won. Dude, that spread's 9.5. I'm not a gambler. I'd probably lay the points. Like, and the Rams have not looked good. The Rams have not looked good down the stretch. Like the last few weeks have not given me a lot of confidence in the Rams. But dude, there's a reason Matthew Stafford played almost all 4 quarters, and it wasn't just to win the MVP. It was because the Rams we got to win this game So we get that matchup in round 1, and they did. So the Bucks side, this is a really disappointing season. This is a really disappointing season. I mean, this division,
I mean, they started out
5-1, and I get it. We can talk about injuries and Baker, the AC joint, and all these injuries. Maybe he truly was hurt because he was playing well at the beginning of the year. Like, no doubt about it, he was playing well. We were having him in the MVP talks through 5-6 weeks, right?
Oh, by week 6, I'd like it's his to lose.
I mean,
it was, in my opinion,
injuries, whatever it was, but maybe his injury just hurt the team this bad. But like, everybody's production went down. It wasn't just like, and I know the quarterback affects so many things, so maybe that was it. But like Ibuka, we were just talking, Bucky Irving did not look the same this year. You know, he was banged up too, and I don't know, man. This is a really tough year if you're a Bucks fan. When the division is won at 8-9.
The coaches like rant and like when he lost it.
That was against the Falcons.
What was it, a few weeks
ago? Yeah, that was after the Falcons
Todd
game.
Bowles just flipped out. Yeah.
And so the Bucks are going to be an interesting one.
It's one of the uglier
the Bucks are going to be an interesting one. I mean, we had 2 teams this year, Bucks and Colts. Now the Colts lost their quarterback for the year. Like, that was a little different than Baker kind of trying to tough and play through injuries. And we saw Baker, if you will remember, his second to last year in Cleveland, he had a really good year. They made the playoffs, and he won a playoff game, if you'll remember. Lost to the Chiefs in the second round. The next year, he got hurt and tried to play through it and looked awful. And that's why he went to the Panthers and then the Rams and then found his way to the Bucs. So we've seen him play through injury before, and maybe he's just not a guy who can do it. But this is a tough one for the Bucs. This division, 8-9 wins it, and that's not even you. You come away second place. That doesn't feel great. Or did they finish third? Wow.
They finished third.
They finished
third.
Still had
that
a
tiebreaker
crazy.
over Atlanta.
They did finish second. Okay.
No. I mean, second. I'm sorry.
Very good.
I think Atlanta. They had the tiebreaker over Atlanta.
Yeah.
We'll talk about coaches in the episode. I was about to say something, but we'll talk about that later. You don't have anything on Falcon Saints, do you? Other than I'm pissed off that Bijan didn't get 2 more yards.
Bijan passed 2,300, which I called weeks ago, by the way. I called that. I was like, guys, this was like a month ago. I was like, Bijan could get to 2,300 yards. He winds up doing it and then gets a negative 6-yard catch and goes back under 2,300 for the season. And then they don't let him get 2 more yards, but whatever. I don't think yards from scrimmage is something. I think that's more of like fantasy football players care about that stuff. I don't think like they really care about that in the NFL. So I get it. Yeah.
Probably not.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice.
It was something that would have been nice to see, but it is what it is. Yeah. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of games. Everybody knows Bijan's one of the top 2 backs in the NFL. All right. There was another game Saturday with
this was the big
massive playoff implications. Division on the line, 1 seed on the line. We're both going to have to be careful here because we're going to have a lot to say in our playoff preview. But I will say, this Seattle team.
Yeah,
man,
I feel like. Well, I think we can talk about Seattle because we're not going to talk about them this week because they have a bye. So we can talk about Seattle. The rest of the teams we'll hold off on.
That's true.
You look at the score. This game was 13-3. Dude, if you watched it, this felt like it was 40-0. Like, San Francisco never had a chance in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about San Francisco in a minute, but Seattle, dude, I've said all year, I do not believe in them. I watched Sam Darnold make some of the most, I don't even remember what game it was, but I remember we talked about it. He made some of the, like, 3 horrific errors in a standalone game this year. And I came on here and I was like, dude, Seattle, they might have the best roster in the league, and there's no chance they go on a playoff run. Dude, in this playoff field, with home field advantage and a bye, I don't know what's going to happen. They could do it. Like, they're that good. This team is legit.
The past 6 quarters of Sam Darnold football has made me a semi-believer. Is he the weak spot of the team? Obviously. But dude, I mean, he was lights out in the second half. I know he had a deer in the headlights interception, but like he helped win the game against the Rams. And he goes 20 of 26, 198 yards. Big one here, no turnovers in San Francisco with the 1 seed and the division on the line. I don't know what else you want. That's pretty good.
And this team believes. Like, remember, this team was down, whatever it was it 16 points to the Rams a few weeks ago? They come back, get the big punt return.
Yeah. Like, we had...
No, I didn't turn off that
game.
No, I stayed up for that one. There was one I turned off. I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, that was the Bears and Packers game, which we'll talk about that later this week. But yeah, Sam Darnold, what was it? I don't even remember what I was saying. I lost my train of thought on that, talking about Bears, Packers. But anyways, this team was dead in the water at that point. Like, it looked like they were about to be the 5 or 6 seed. And at that point, who knows? You're on the road in Green Bay, or you're on the road in Chicago or Philly or wherever. Now, dude, they are believing. They believe in Sam Darnold. Whether I do or you do, it doesn't matter. They believe in him. They have a top 4 receiver in the NFL. I know he had probably the best or second best year. I would say he's around the 4th best receiver in the NFL. And then what? Kenneth Walker might be the 14th best running back in the NFL, and Zach Charbonnet might be the 18th. Like, those are 2 good backs. And with the other weapons they have and the way their offensive line is playing, that might be a tiny weakness, but the way it's playing is enough that. And then you get to the defense, and let me read. I'm going to read some of these 49er stats.
The thing that's turned around.
I'm going to read some of these 49er stats, and these are not 49er stats I'm reading. These are Seattle defense stats. Listen to this. Purdy, who had been cooking, by the way. You know that all too well. Brock Purdy. Yeah, you know that all too well.
Trust me, I know.
19 of 27, 127 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. 127 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 8 carries, 23 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 6 catches, 34 yards for Christian McCaffrey. George Kittle, 5 catches, 29 yards. They shut it down, man. I'm telling you, it was 13-10. San Francisco never had a chance in this game. It might as well have been 30-0 because this was an impressive win. This is the type of stamp I wanted to see Seattle put on the end of the season, beating the Rams, winning at the 49ers, and this is a tough out. This team's good. This team's good.
They put an exclamation point on this season.
Do I believe in Darnold? No, but it might not matter.
It might not matter, and I think it's interesting to point out this isn't a massive defense of Sam Darnold. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we've grossly misjudged Sam Darnold, but just have in your mind, this guy had horrific coaching the first 5 years of his season. I mean, he went to Jets, then he goes to the Frank Reich Panthers, then Kevin O'Connell finally gets his hands on him, and he goes to a playoff game. I know he didn't play great.
And remember,
end of the season in Minnesota.
Remember, but he sat behind Purdy the year before that under Kyle Shanahan. Yeah.
Sat behind Purdy, and now he comes to Seattle, has this level of season. So we're going to, like, people in the media are going to sit here like, you really expect Sam Darnold to win a playoff game? Well, he's only been to one. So here's the difference.
You can't Last year, if you remember Minnesota, they were 14-2 or whatever they were. At the end of the year, they played Detroit for the division, and I believe, for the 1 seed. They played Detroit for the division, for the 1 seed. He falls apart. I mean, absolutely was a disaster in that game, and he was terrible in the playoff game. This year, something pretty similar happens. 2 weeks ago, they play the Rams for the division and the 1 seed, beat them. This week, they play the 49ers for the division and the 1 seed, beat them. He comes back against the Rams. He does enough against the 49ers. Maybe we're seeing a little changing of the tide. Again, still don't super believe in him, but I believe in Seattle as much as I believe any team in this NFC.
Yeah, we will discuss it at length in a couple days when we will have 2 episodes this week. But I'm on the Seattle train. I'm on the Seattle train. I'll tell you that. I'll give you that preview. We'll talk about the 49ers more in depth when we talk about their playoff matchup in a couple days. All right. Do you have anything on the Colts Texans?
The only thing is the Texans. They needed this game, and it was real close. And I know Stroud got pulled. I know Nico didn't play, so like they didn't play everyone. But this was at least semi-important game for seeding and things like that. I mean, going to Pittsburgh was on the line versus going to Jacksonville, a division rival, on the road in the playoffs. So like they needed to win, right? And it was close at the end. Now, they have a good backup, period. You like Davis Love, he didn't work out as a starter. That team was a disaster. Davis Mills, not Davis Love.
Davis Mills,
it's a golfer. Davis Mills, yeah. When he was the starter for this team, yes, that team was awful and it didn't work out. But as a backup, he's really good. He's been there for a long time at this point, so he gets the win. But you would have liked to see that one not be quite as close. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They did what they need to do. No injuries, so I think that's all the Texans really care about. Anything on the Colts, or
that's an off-season
more, I guess, during the off-season. Yeah. Cowboys, Giants. I don't know if you have anything. The only thing I have to say is it's a negative on the Giants. Why win this game? You go from the 1st overall pick to the 5th overall pick. That's an absolute disaster.
Yeah, well, so we'll talk about it. Let's just have the why win in Week 18 conversation now. Let's lump in the Washington and Philly here too, because obviously I'm a Commanders fan and we lost a draft spot or two. For me, we were going from pick 5 or 6, depending on a couple things, to pick 7. Honestly, for me, in a draft that only has 2 quarterbacks that we would have been able to trade down from, like I'd rather just beat the Eagles, even if it's backups. I'd rather, it just means more to me to beat the Eagles than just those 2 draft spots. But 1 to 5 is a little different. And now look, let me just go ahead and say this.
I mean, even think about.
Let me just make this very clear. It was going to be pick 2, because I promise you, if they would have lost this game, the Raiders would have found the ways to lose their game. Believe me, that was happening. But but pick 2 to pick 5.
Okay, but what did? Yeah, Cleveland had the pick 2 last year.
Yeah,
look what Jacksonville gave,
and that wasn't even for a quarterback.
From 5 to 2. I'm not saying that you're going to be in that same situation. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
That one it is bad.
You don't that kind of package doesn't happen for pick 5. Yeah. It happens for pick 2.
Well, it is bad.
This is a blunder.
As a fan, so fans can think the way we're thinking right now, right? Draft picks, like players don't care, man. A lot of them aren't even going to be there next year. Their thought is, hey, man, you're the front office. It's your job to put a roster together. It's not mine to lose, so you have the capital to make a better roster. So the players aren't going to try to lose, right? That's not even in their mind, and it shouldn't be. Like, I don't want my players to be thinking, oh, maybe we can lose this game. But, that's how it goes. You win this game, and it really hurts your franchise. It does, but players don't care.
Yeah. I was going to try to lump it into this was the ultimate,
and especially
care.
But especially like when you have an interim coach, like their coach has already been fired. Like, so he knows, this interim knows, I'm not going to be here next year. What do I care if they get, if they're trading down for a haul? He's like, I don't care. So this is what happens.
Yeah. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Great for Cincinnati to lose this game. I was when they were trying to win. I think I texted the group chat like, Can somebody inform Cincinnati that they don't want to win this game?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, obviously Myles Garrett breaks the record.
The main thing was
that's
Myles
awesome.
Garrett.
I got to watch it live. It's always fun when you get to see a record broken. Records mean way more in baseball than they do football. People don't care about records in football. Like, I guarantee you, can you even tell me how many yards Emmitt Smith has? No. See, like, records don't.
I can't remember. I used to could. I genuinely, when I was younger, I used
don't mean
to,
as much
I don't
in football as they do baseball. But, like, me being a baseball fan, I love records, so it was cool to watch it live. So, yeah, Myles Garrett, record sack holder.
Yeah. I hate that it didn't happen in 16 games, and I'm a little mad at the Steelers because you could tell the Steelers would have rather lost to Cleveland, which they did, than let him get that sack record. But it is what it is. You saw history. I'm a little annoyed that the Bengals are all upset about it. Like, they stopped the game.
I have no problem with stopping the game.
This recognition.
No problem with stopping the game. Now,
pissed off. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm with
like,
you. I'm with you. The Bengals
I
are
saw
like
Zach Taylor doing
they're all
that,
up in arms and mad
like,
about it, though.
Again, maybe it's just me like in baseball, and in baseball they always do that, but I have no problem with that. Like, I think they probably should have told him. Yeah, they probably should have told Zach Taylor and Burrow, like, hey man, if he breaks this record, we're gonna stop it. That conversation should have happened. But yeah, I don't have a problem with them stopping the game. I thought they should have stopped it longer. Like, they went fast. I didn't really even notice them stopping it that much. I mean, it was a little bit, but
they did it when Drew Brees broke the passing
like
record.
that, and I'm fine with that. Like, they should do that, and so I don't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah. Anything on Green Bay versus Minnesota? I got nothing. Yeah. The only thing I'm happy happened was Justin Jefferson got to 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
That's the only milestone I was looking for that game. Jacksonville,
dude,
puts the whooping on Tennessee 41-7. Jacksonville is a little bit like Seattle in my head, where, dude,
I think I'm more in on Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville might. Dude, they might be the best team in the league. Like, maybe it's just they had a weak schedule coming down. They beat the Broncos, who are the 1 seed, who I'm still not sure are that good. But they beat the Broncos, so, like, in Denver's a tough place to play. But, I mean,
talk about them later.
We're going to have our first round preview coming up, but I might, like, Jacksonville could win the Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars could win the Super Bowl, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, and they've played good teams too. Like, they beat San Francisco, but I think Purdy was hurt then. I mean,
when they were
Kansas
at
City,
their best.
Kansas City was still
at their best.
They played them. They beat them. At their best. They played a tight game against Seattle. They got blown out by the Rams. I don't remember what happened in that game, honestly. They beat the Texans. I
remember that Rams game was in London. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
I think they had some injuries, but I can't fully remember. But we've seen a different, and I agree, the schedule's lightened up a lot, but we've seen a different Trevor Lawrence the back half of the season than we saw the first half. That's a completely
I'm pretty
different
excited
player.
about
I don't
the Jags.
recognize this guy. Yeah. I got nothing on the Titans. Do you? Good. Rams beat the Cardinals. They made a Matthew Stafford MVP push.
And I mean, I don't mind it. I know a lot of people are complaining about it on Twitter. But stats are going to be a factor in this thing. In football, it doesn't tell the whole story, so it's not all about stats, but it's a factor. And I mean, I get it. He wants to win the MVP. Like, these people on Twitter, what would you be doing? You've probably done this in Madden with your My Player before, so don't complain when Matthew Stafford does it in real life at 37 years old. Like, I'm fine with it. Yes.
You look, you see you're second in the MVP
Yes, you
race.
change
Oh,
it to
shoot, I gotta throw
15-minute
6
quarters and you
touchdowns.
try to throw 8 touchdowns. Yes. So, honestly, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't have a ton there. We'll talk about the Cardinals here in a little bit when we get the coaches. Broncos beat the Chargers.
Dude, I watched
not
this
much
one.
to say, really.
I think if Justin Herbert, if Justin Herbert plays, the Chargers
I heard
would
it
have
was
won.
ugly.
Like, I know it's 19-3. The only touchdown they scored was a pick six, and then it was all field goals, and some of those field goals came on short fields. This was not an impressive win by the Broncos. Now, the Chargers, that offensive line with Trey Lance is not a great combo for success. I'll be honest with you, Ben. He led them in rushing, which should tell you all you need to know. This was Amari
and
there
Hampton
was
also did
there
not
were
play
several
this
guys
game,
who didn't
so
play.
just
There were
like an
several guys who
FYI,
didn't
Herbert
play,
and
and
Hampton were
like
out.
the Broncos, man, and we can talk about them because they're on a bye too. They might be the only team in the AFC playoff picture, other than the Steelers, that can't win the Super Bowl. They might be the only one, and they're the 1 seed, and they have home field. But I just don't see this team winning 3 straight playoff rounds, even at home. Like, I've said all year, I think Bo Nix is going to lose them a playoff game. I still feel that way. Like, this offense could not move the ball. It was painful in this game. I mean, Bo Nix threw for 141, and they ran it for 116 as a team. Like, their best offense was Bo Nix running the ball. And I'm telling you, man, that is never a good thing. Unless you have Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Like, any game the Chiefs played this year, we were like, man, their best offense was when Patrick Mahomes scrambled. It's like, that's awful. That's never good. And they had to press that button a lot. He had 8 carries for 49 yards. They had to press that button a lot in this game just to pull away with a win against the Chargers at home when they're playing all backups, and we get a pick six, and we get short fields, and this is still what it looked like. I mean, it's good to close the season out on a win, but this did not give you hope if you're a Broncos fan.
No, if you spend time on social media, I'm sure, on sports social media, I'm sure you'll see it. But, like, there's the meme that goes around. But I'm fully there. Like, I don't think the Broncos are that good.
Yeah,
I just can't prove it yet. I'm gonna have my proof in a couple weeks, but I don't have it yet.
Like, this is the most shocking 14-3 I think I remember. This is more shocking than Minnesota last year, I think. And Minnesota was a fraud. I mean, we saw that in the playoffs. But
Minnesota, like, you could point to things like on Minnesota, like, oh, well, Sam Darnold's played well. They got a good running game. Oh, Justin Jefferson's out here. He's having an incredible season. I don't have a. I mean,
the pass rush and Pat Surtain is what you point to. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be enough. And the reason we're talking about him more is because we're not talking about him later this week. But, like, I don't have a lot of confidence in this team. Look,
but look at what happened with Jacksonville. Like, Jacksonville cracked the defense.
Yeah,
and Bo Nix
folded. I don't want to admit it, Ben, but I will admit I was wrong about them. I thought they were not going to be good. And they won 14 games. So I got to take that L. But at the same time, I still don't think they're good. So this is the weirdest team of the league to me.
No.
And you're looking at, if there's no upsets in the AFC, you're looking at Houston or Pittsburgh coming to Denver. I honestly think either team could win that game, but maybe I would pick the Broncos, but I think either team could win it. But I guess that's something for another day.
For the Broncos' sake,
yeah,
they better hope it's Pittsburgh. I'll say that. You do not
want
the
don't.
Texans walking in that building. I'm sorry.
You don't.
That's not going to go well.
And then even if it is, man, are we picking Bo Nix over Aaron Rodgers? Even this Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game? I don't know. Yeah.
If they get DK Metcalf back, I don't know.
Anyways.
We'll see. Chiefs, Raiders, got anything?
Other than, like, I'm going to give Mahomes a mini pass for these stats he's put up the past 2 years. Like, this team's bad. When he doesn't play, this team is, I mean, this might be the worst team in the NFL when he doesn't play. I didn't realize how bad this roster was. I mean, it just got old. It's that simple. The roster was competitive, and it's not Tyreek Hill leaving. The year after Tyreek Hill left, he won the MVP, set the all-time yards in a season record, and they won the Super Bowl. After that, though they have been to 3 straight Super Bowls, this roster might be bad, and they just got old, and they're losing to the Raiders. I mean, what else do we need to say? Was trying to lose.
A Raiders team that
Yeah.
was going to get it anyway.
Yeah, a
But
Raiders
once
team
the
that
one
sat
overall
Brock
pick.
Bowers and Max Crosby. Those are their only 2 good players other than Genty. Genty's good. Those guys are great. Yeah, Genty's good.
And
Those guys are
Ashton
great.
Genty.
That's it. That's the list. I mean, Colton Miller, people like him, they're left tackle. Other than that, they don't have any good players. And Chiefs get beat. Now the Chiefs are going with like below league average quarterback play right now. They're on their 3rd string quarterback, right? So it's not like they're getting average quarterback play and the roster's this bad. They're getting bad quarterback play also, but yeah, this team's not good. Man, this team's not good.
Yeah.
Yes, they
They
do.
got a lot of work to do in the offseason. New England versus Miami. A predictable bloodbath. I mean, we'll talk about New England when it comes to playoff previews.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say,
It's a good
like,
team.
Miami, the past 2.5 months, I mean, aside from that Pittsburgh game, like, they haven't just been a walk in the park for teams. They've won some games. Like, they've been competitive, and this game was not competitive. And so this is a good finishing with the Jets and the Dolphins and smashing both of them. That's a good way to go into the playoffs if you're
That'll
New
give you some
England.
confidence.
I did see
That'll give you some confidence.
of every single team of this century, they have had, in terms of opponent win-loss percentage, they have had the easiest schedule of the century. Like the 6th easiest schedule in the history of the sport and the easiest in the century. That's kind of a crazy stat.
I mean, go through, look at their schedule. I'm seeing 1, 2. Hold on, I'm still scrolling. 3. They played 3 teams with winning records.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were the Bills.
So
I'm counting both of the Bills games. They only played 2
Yeah, who
teams
was the
total with winning records.
Who was the other?
Holy cow. The Steelers.
The Steelers went 9-8, and they lost to the Steelers.
Because they went 9-8.
So in their 3 games against
And they
teams with
lost
winning
that.
records, they went 1-2. So now I still think they're pretty good. I think they actually, are competitive in this AFC. But it is something to note. It is the easiest schedule of the century in terms of win-loss percentage. So
yeah. And we'll talk about them later. Like,
yeah,
I
they
do
are.
think this is
They are a good team.
Top to bottom, I think it is very good. But I'm not going to be surprised in the least if they get popped round 1.
It's on the board. It is on the board.
But that might be more conversation for next week. Or in a couple days. Not next week.
No.
Anything on Miami, or are we just skipping past them? This one, I've seen a lot of controversy about it. I don't know how you feel. Not even 100% sure how I feel, but Washington beats Philadelphia's backups 24-17. We've already kind of touched on Washington about draft picks, so we'll skip that over. But Sirianni sits his starters. They had the chance to get the 2 seed. If they won, would they have gotten it? Or would it still have gone to... No, it still would have gone to the Bears because the Bears...
So this was... No, this was...
No, they would have gotten it.
This is close to coaching malpractice. Him sitting these starters. In a game where, dude, you've got a chance at the 2 seed and home field advantage until the NFC Championship game. Like, I cannot believe he didn't play his starters. And I get it. I guess he just thought either we're going to beat Washington with our backups, which is a fine thing to think, honestly, if you're the Eagles. Like, we can probably beat that team with our backups. Or he thought, yeah, I can't imagine he thought, hey, there's no way the Lions beat the Bears. I can't imagine he was thinking that. And, like, I don't know why if they win this game, they're the 2 seed. They get the beat up Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love coming off an injury with no Micah Parsons at home in round 1, and you have home field until the NFC Championship game. Now, next week, guess who's coming to town? The 49ers, which San Francisco's coming to town.
San Francisco.
Okay. Like, fine. And then you're the 2-3, and so if you they're beatable.
They're beatable.
And then so if you win, you're going to play, Chicago or Green Bay. And I cannot believe he didn't play his starters. At least, Ben, football's 4 quarters. Yeah, football's 4 quarters.
Get a lead or something.
Go out there, let them play just say, hey guys, we're playing the first half, and then we'll see how things go. And if you look up and you see, hey man, the Bears are down 16, which they were. Okay, then let's try to win this game, finish this game. And I get it. There's always a health risk right now. At least, Saquon's going to be healthy. Jalen Hurts is going to be healthy. I get that. But, like, you got a chance at the 2 seed. All you have to do, if Jalen Hurts and Saquon and everybody plays half the game, you're going to beat the Commanders. You're going to be up 17 at the half, right? Josh Johnson playing quarterback. Just let them play half the game. You see, hey, Chicago's up. Let's finish this game. Or you go out there after the first quarter, you look up, Chicago's up 24-3. Okay, we'll pull you guys out because they're going to lose anyway. Like, I don't understand sitting them the whole game. I thought it was a really bad move by Sirianni, but I don't think he's that great. I know he won the Super Bowl last year. He's been to another one. I think he's kind of a bonehead, but whatever.
I mean, he won the Super Bowl, and granted, it's grasping at straws, I guess, because you're sitting there like, well, he did win the Super Bowl, but he won the Super Bowl with a far superior roster.
Yeah.
To the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and better coordinators.
And because it was a blowout, we didn't get the chance for him to make a crucial error, which really helped him. So, but
if you go back and listen to our playoff or Super Bowl preview, I guess, we did mention that as a possibility. We said there were 2 outcomes. The Chiefs win a close game because Sirianni makes a bonehead play.
That was my whole take. I said the quote was, the most, what I thought was most likely to happen was a close Chiefs win. What I thought was second most likely to happen was Eagles by 20. That's how I viewed the game. Obviously that would happen, or I don't remember what it ended up being, but blowout. But yeah, so I don't know why he didn't play the starters. I do know why obviously getting everybody healthy, but I think it was the wrong decision.
And also, too, like, the Bears are playing the Lions. Do you remember what happened the last time the Bears played the Lions? So you think there's
would be
no
different
chance the Bears lose that game?
Caleb was sitting and they were playing, the Seahawks on the road. But if they're playing, the Lions, with a chance to, in the Lions' mind, hey, the Eagles are going to beat Washington. So if we beat these guys, it knocks them down a seed. We get to knock Ben Johnson, who just left us, and all this. Like, the Lions want to win this game. And I don't know. I didn't like the call, but what do I know?
Plus,
yeah, they are at least healthy.
At least you've got that.
So,
speaking of Lions-Bears, the Lions win 19-16 over the Bears. Luckily for the Bears, it doesn't matter. But
it matters a little.
It's interesting.
It matters a little. And by the way, I've got to toot my own horn here a bit. I think we went 100% on the Lions rushing for 100-yard stat. Every single time they hit 100 yards rushing between their running backs and receivers, they won. Every single time they didn't, they lost. We had the one weird game where Jared Goff had a rush that put him over 100. You take that out, we win 100%, which is pretty incredible for that stat. And again, it's not about the stat. It's about what this offense looks like when they can run the ball versus when they can't. And they ran it okay this game and got enough going. And if I'm the Bears, though, I don't like how we finished the season. I really don't. I mean, the 49ers game, you give up 1,000,000 yards and 1,000,000 points. And then this game, yeah, great. You tied it up at the end, and obviously the Lions come back and get the field goal to win it. But, like, dude, you're down 16-0 in the fourth quarter. This is Ben Johnson. This is Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick. This is high flying. And
I don't know. The Packers game with no Jordan Love, and it takes a miracle for them to win that game.
And so we're going to get to see that rematch next week, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I've seen plenty of positives from this season as well, such as when they walk into Philadelphia, beat the Eagles. They also, they play really tight against the Packers in Green Bay when Green Bay was still healthy. So there's still good things to take.
Oh, this is not a great finish.
You're tight with San Francisco still. I mean, you could spin that a positive way as well. I get it. They got shredded, but I don't know. We'll see. I still like this Bears team a lot. But we'll discuss the Bears at length in a couple of days here. Last 2 games here. One has very little significance. The Bills were going to play Josh Allen. They sit him last second. Doesn't matter. They absolutely annihilate, destroy, eviscerate anything you could think of adjective there for what they did to the Jets. They did it. And the only thing I've got to say on the Jets is, do you know that the NFL started recording interceptions in 1933? Since then, no team's ever gone a full season without getting at least 1 interception. The Jets went an entire season without getting an interception, and the Jets did so in a 17-game season.
It's unbelievable. Like, I will say, I know they won 3 games. This, like the last probably 6 weeks of the Jets, I think it might be the worst team I've ever seen in the NFL. And I know there's a team every year that we're like, man, this is the worst team. What they put on film the last 4 to 6 weeks, dude, I'm not sure. Like, once Garrett Wilson was out and Brees played, but he didn't play this game. But, like, I'm not sure if they had any, like, real good NFL players once they traded Quinnen Williams, once they traded Sauce, whatever they were doing at quarterback, Garrett Wilson was out. Like, this was one of the worst teams I've ever seen, if not the worst.
I still think they do, but every year people want to argue, could the best college football team beat the worst NFL team? And every year my answer is absolutely not. Of course not. I don't know about this one because college football is more pro than it ever has been with paying college players.
They would still beat a college team, but
maybe.
Let me just read this out.
But it might be closer than you'd think.
They beat the Falcons. All right, I don't remember what week that was, week 11 or 12, whatever it was. After that,
okay, great.
They lose by 24 to the Dolphins, 28 to the Jags, 23 to the Saints, 22 to the Patriots, and 27 to the Bills. That's how they finished their season. That was one of the worst teams I've seen. It really was down there at the end. And that's a big job to turn that thing around. I'll tell you that.
I mean, do you think they fire Aaron Glenn?
It's
I don't know what else you're going to do. Like, you're going to find.
It's certainly not his fault.
Who's there?
But my rule is you're going to draft a quarterback, so you fire the coach. But let me just say this. Garrett Wilson, last call to pass in week 6. He led this team in receiving with 395 yards. That's like a high school team. Honestly, like there's high school teams out there with like 3 guys who get at least 400 yards. That's a middle school leading receiver. 395 yards is a middle school team leading receiver, and you don't throw the ball in middle school unless like you have a stud quarterback. That's insane. 395 yards.
And Garrett Wilson hasn't caught a pass
since week
6.
What?
We've played 11 NFL games since then. There are players in this league who can have 395 yards
in 2 weeks.
In 3 weeks.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't think we were going to talk about the Jets that much, but it needed to be said. Like, we try to be respectful. We are not
I genuinely just
we're
enjoy.
Not the type that like I don't like talking bad about players and teams and stuff. Like, we try to stay positive. That needed to be said. That was an abomination.
I genuinely people talk about the Myles Garrett thing like, oh, he did it in 17 weeks. Oh, this, that, or the other. That stat has been since 1933. They used to play like 8 and 10 games back then. That made sense. This is the longest an NFL season has ever been at 17 games. You couldn't get a tip pass, a bobble throw.
They throw
nothing?
Now more than ever. Teams throw. I mean, I get it. With the Jets, they're running the ball all the second half because they're up so big, but like they're still throwing it 30 times a game. You can't pick one of them. It's crazy. Crazy. That's unbelievable.
All right, we're done. Let's move on. The NFL did save the best for last. The Ravens started the season with an absolute classic against the Bills, and they end the season with an absolute classic against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers win somehow. No DK Metcalf. I mean, this was the most Steelers football I've ever seen. They were like, we know we can't blow them out. We know this is going to be tight. They just sat back, did their thing, and they're comfortable winning the close game.
Yeah,
like
I
this.
mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys got at least 5 targets in this game. 6. I mean, they're just spreading it around. I mean, good gosh, the ghost of Adam Thielen is out there catching passes that decide this game. Like,
dude, he had a nice
dime
seam
from
catch,
Aaron,
or catch at the
on
seam
an absolute
from Rodgers
dime.
too. It was good. That was perfect. Yeah,
good for the Steelers. Like, look, 9-8, obviously, or no, the 10-7. So they didn't finish 10-7. Like, obviously, they didn't have the greatest season of all time, right? But I thought I honestly thought coming in, this is going to be the first time ever Tomlin has a losing season. Like, I thought, man, Rodgers he doesn't have it anymore. They're bringing Rodgers in to save this roster that I don't think is that good. And look, they did it. 10 wins is 10 wins in the NFC North, and I get it. The NFC North, it was down this year, right? They were the only team over 500. Those games are still tough. Like, teams, those games are, it's bad weather, it's cold, it's raining, it's, they're just physical. It's just hard games in the AFC North. And they did it. Good for them. Good for Aaron. This was like...
It's not fun.
I am glad, as someone who... Look, show you how long Aaron Rodgers has been playing. I'm 27. I wore 12 in middle school because of Aaron Rodgers. Because I loved Aaron Rodgers so much. We're talking 15 years ago, right? That's how long he's been playing. But yeah, like... So I've always been a fan. I know people have soured on him the last few years for some off-the-field stuff. I'll admit... He's not a great teammate, I don't think. I think he's... Yeah, I think he's...
The Jets will do that to you.
Right.
The Jets will do that to you.
I don't know if he's the best teammate, that kind of deal. But, like, he has been this year. He's been enough this year. I know he threw some receivers under the bus earlier, but, hey, they kind of turned it around since then. So maybe they needed that. And to come back after losing to the Browns, which was a ridiculous loss last week. I mean, maybe the worst loss of anyone had all season was them losing to the Browns last week when they had a chance to clinch the division. You come back, you beat Baltimore at home, you move on. Little lucky at the end with the missed kick, but You got unlucky with a missed extra point right before that. So
Very lucky.
good for the Steelers, good for Tomlin, good for Aaron, and we're going to talk about it. I don't think they're dead against Houston. I don't think they're drawing dead.
No,
I would pick Houston.
It's more of a Houston reason that it's more of a Houston reason that I think they're not dead against the water, and we will discuss that. I'm more than sure when we get there, but I do agree. Like this, it's a game,
and I'm excited for it. I'm honestly excited for all these games except for the Rams-Panthers game. I'm not really that excited for that one, to be honest with you. But the rest of these games, I'm pretty excited about. It would have been great to get Ravens, and I'm happy to get Steelers in. Good for them. Probably got a little more to say on the Ravens.
An insane NFC,
it is.
AFC playoff picture, dude. I mean, no
It's
Lamar,
crazy.
no Burrow, no Mahomes. That's insane.
It's crazy.
If you'd have told me all three of those guys, or if you'd have told me even one of those three guys, like, I mean, I guess I could have seen Burrow with the mess that Cincinnati is, but I'm like, dude, there's no way that Lamar.
I would have thought, they got injured in week 3.
Like, there's no way. But,
like,
yeah. And the crazy thing is, Lamar did.
Yeah.
He got hurt in like week 2 or 3. Missed like 5 games. Was not the same when he came back, but this game wasn't Lamar's fault. I think I texted y'all when the Steelers kicked the field goal and then the Ravens had that big return. I was like, dude, if Lamar doesn't win this game right now, or like this is going to be a detriment on his legacy. And somehow he still didn't win the game.
So I definitely don't put
this one on him at all. Like, what do you want me to do if my kicker misses a 30-yard field goal?
I definitely don't want to put the end of the game on him. And that first drive, man, I text you guys. I was like, that looked like the old Ravens, where it's little Derrick Henry. I think Lamar picked up a first down on a scramble with his legs in that drive. Little, few yards here, few yards here, few yards here. And then somebody is just wide open because the defense is so worried about Henry and Lamar. And that's exactly what happened that first drive. And I was like, dude, that looked like the old Ravens. That did not look good. Like if you're pulling against the Ravens right there. After that, Ben, I will say 7 plays punt, 6 plays field goal, 3 plays punt, 5 plays punt, 3 plays interception. Maybe you say it wasn't his fault. I get that. 5 plays punt. That's the next 6 drives. Now in the fourth quarter, he might have had the best quarter anyone has played all year. He was sensational in that fourth quarter. But before that, the other parts of the game matter too. And he was not good in those stretches of the game. Again, fourth quarter, he was awesome, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And this team, they proved again, they just weren't good. Like at a certain point, they just weren't good. Their 2 best wins of the season, they beat Chicago and they beat, who else was it? Was it Green Bay? Yeah, Chicago and Green Bay. Green Bay 2 weeks ago. And Chicago were the 2 best wins of the season. Lamar played in neither of those games. Like, the games he played in, they were I think they only won 5 or something. They only won 5 games this year. And so it just a really disappointing season for the Ravens. Ends in heartbreak, obviously. What's the kid's name? Tyler Loop. Is that right? Yeah. Ends in heartbreak there.
Something like that.
He did put him in a spot in the end, and he was great in the fourth quarter, but he went quiet through a lot of that game.
Yeah. In the middle of the game, I was concerned, and then when Lamar had that fourth quarter, I was like, dude,
oh yeah,
this could be a problem if they get in the playoffs.
They're one of those teams, man, that when it's going right, you're like, how does anyone stop them? And then you look up at the end of the year, they went 8-9. It's like, that's just who they were. They were just a middle of the road.
When things are clicking, they are one of maybe the best.
Dude, on their best drives, you'll think, how has this team not won multiple Super Bowls in Lamar's career? And then you'll go 3 quarters and they have, 80 yards of offense. And you're like, what is happening here? And Henry was good.
He had 60 yards on the first drive.
Yeah, and Henry was
12
good.
since
20
then.
carries, $126, 6.3 yards a carry. They didn't go to him as much late because they were down. But like in the fourth quarter, but like he was good. Zay Flowers has the 2 big plays. Devontae Walker, Tar Heel, gets a touchdown in there, but just wasn't enough, man. And it's a tough way to end the season. And I guess we can use this to transition into a little coach talk if we have time for it. How much time we got left?
Yeah, I think we're at right at an hour now, so I think we got a little bit of time to talk about some coaches. We let's save Harbaugh maybe for a later date because we don't know exactly what's going to happen there. But we will leave that there. I mean, if you're paying attention at all to the NFL, you know there's a lot of controversy about whether he stays, whether he goes, what the deal is there. But there are multiple NFL coaches today that did get the axe, and there have been a couple during the season. We know Callahan and Dable got fired during the season, and then today, the first one to go was Raheem Morris. Actually happened last night. The Falcons fired Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the GM. And then today, Stefanski, Pete Carroll, and Jonathan Gannon all get the axe from their teams. And Zach Taylor gets announced that he's staying.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where we should start here. The least surprising to me is Carroll, I guess.
It didn't make a lot of sense from the beginning.
Because the Carroll firing makes sense. It makes sense too, like the way you always say if you're going to pick a quarterback, fire the coach. Well, they got the number one.
So that part makes sense. The hiring itself didn't make sense from the beginning. Like if last year Buffalo would have let McDermott go and they hired Pete Carroll, I would have understood that. Like a ready-made team, new voice, just new energy in the building. The Raiders, man, this was and maybe they thought they weren't rebuilding and they thought Geno was the answer and whatever, but like it just didn't make sense to bring him in. Hey, but good for him. He made a lot of money for this and he's going to get paid a lot of money the next 2 years for this. So good for him. But I don't think it's a great job. I think it's an okay job. I think there's worse jobs that are open in this cycle. But you look at the division you're in, you look at, maybe you really like, I don't watch college football. What's the kid's name? Mendoza? Yeah.
Mendoza. Also Dante Moore from Oregon.
Okay, well, maybe you really like those guys. But just based on the division, based on ownership, and I know Tom Brady's involved in some capacity now, but he's not the full owner. It's just, I don't think it's a great job. I mean, look at their last several coaches. You're talking about Gruden, ended in disaster. You're talking about, what's old boy, Josh, is it Josh McDaniel, the OC McDaniels, disaster. The interim that got the job, disaster. And now Pete Carroll, disaster. I mean, it's a chopping block for coaches. So I think it's an okay job. Maybe things are changing in the building with Brady. But the roster, the division, I don't think it's a great job.
I mean, you've only got two, we'll say 3 building block players. And the building block player, the third one I'm saying is the number 1 overall pick. I think you've got an opportunity because Crosby's gone. They're going to move off of him. So you're going to be able to get pieces for him. So that is a good thing, but you really only have Bowers and Genty. And the tackle, I can't remember his name, is good. So Colton Miller. So it's a bare cupboard. I mean, you got some you have a couple stars.
Yep.
And then 1 long shot. That's what you're looking at. So we'll see. Jonathan Gannon's not surprising to me that he goes. I think the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think other than
rebuild, I'm assuming
other than Cleveland, this is probably the worst opening. Just you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a great roster.
I mean, Kyler's still
I
under
think
contract.
they're kind of They're kind of done with him. I think they're going to move on from him. You don't have a quarterback. I don't know what the answer is at that position. Division's tough, not good ownership, not good roster. Like, this is a bad job. It's a really bad job. Somebody's going to take it because there's only 32 of these available. But this is not a good job. And that's not saying somebody can't come in and do a good job, but this is a bottom 3 or 4 job in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's also not a ton of building blocks.
You got McBride
in Arizona as well. Like, you're gonna have to trade Kyler. You got Trey McBride. I don't even think Marv is at this point. You hate Marv,
and it's personal for you. I don't think it's football related for you. I think it's personal. It's personal. It's personal.
It's somewhat
It felt
personal.
really personal through text the other day.
Let me be clear. I've been more and more. Well, that was because he goose-egged for me in a championship, so that feels really bad. But genuinely, leading up to that, I've been getting more and more out on Marv. Like for several months now. I'm like, dude, he comes in on a snap count, and like, I get it. I'm mad about a fantasy championship. He goose-egged, but like,
yeah,
if you're good, even on a 40% snap share, like, you're gonna get a catch,
he also could barely walk.
Something like Jamar Chase on a 40% Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't know. I texted you that a few weeks ago.
Why is he playing now?
I was watching one of the games, and I texted in the group chat. I was like, "Why is Marv in the game? He can't even walk." But yeah, I'm out on him being an elite player. Like, I think, what's his ceiling at this point? Is his ceiling like? I don't even know if it's T. Higgins. Like, I think he could get somewhere in that ballpark, maybe. But I'm kind of out on him being an elite player.
I think he could be a good wide receiver too.
I think he could be a great wide receiver
I guess
too.
The wide receiver one there's Trey McBride, but
I just don't know. I mean, and who knows? Maybe he comes up next year and has 1,700 yards. I don't know. Jackson Smith and Jigba, it happened year 3. CeeDee Lamb, it happened year 3. So who knows? But
But JSN
he was much better.
Kind of broke out in year 2. Like, you saw. Yeah, you saw.
He probably was worse in year 2. Yeah, I mean, he barely played the second half of the year, but he probably was worse in year 2. Yeah, and maybe the only thing I hate is we did not get to see him with Jacoby Brissett at all. Like, he played one game and left injured, and then was on a snap share a few games. But like, I would have liked to see if he looked better with Brissett. He actually did. No, we did against the Seahawks, and he had like 3 catches for like 50 and a touchdown or something in that game. But after that, we didn't get to see him with Brissett. I would have liked to see what he looked like to see if he did look better. But yeah, I'm kind of out on him being an elite player at this point. Like, I think he could be good, but I don't know if he can be elite at all.
Yeah, and we say it's personal.
Mad.
Like, I was mad about the championship, but
you were mad.
I don't have anything against him. Like, I own him. I was mad and still am. But like, I do own him in fantasy league, so it's not like I do want him to be good.
Yeah. So
I just don't think
all
he
that
is.
to say, like
or at least
all that to say, that's supposed to be your best player.
Like,
that's supposed to be your best player, and he's not that good. McBride's really good, so this is not a good job. It's just not a good job.
No. Earlier in the year, I think you and I were both on the train of why would you fire Stefanski? But Stefanski is out in Cleveland. I fully expect this man to have a job.
So Cleveland's a terrible job. Worst job possible. The owner wants to play Shador, and I'm not sure he's any good. So it's a terrible job. But Stefanski, a few weeks ago, it was looking like, hey, maybe a couple of these really big guys get let go. I still think Harbaugh's not going to be back. So he's going to be a high candidate. It was looking like Tomlin might not be back. He might return to the Steelers. I don't know. It looked like he was going to be one of the better candidates. Some people like Dayball. It looked like McDermott might get let go, which we'll see what happens in the playoffs. It looked like he was going to be a good candidate. All of a sudden, there's not a lot of good candidates in this time around. Like, There's just not a lot of good coaches out there. I think at this point, Stefanski's number one. Like, he's certainly going to get a job this offseason. Did I read he was interviewing with the Falcons or something? Or did I read something about that?
He is interviewing.
Okay, they've already talked.
He and the Falcons,
so that'd be a great get for the Falcons. Two things can be true, Ben. I think he's a good coach, and I think you had to fire him. You can only lose so much. Like, it is not his fault. It is all ownership. It is all general managing. It is all that. But at a certain point, it's the NFL, man. You can't win 4 games every year and just have a season. I know have a season in between where you win 9 games with Joe Flacco, win Coach of the Year, and that can't be enough. Like, so I think they had to let him go. Probably also if he didn't want to play Shador, which is how the reporting's been, and the owner did, that probably, threw a wrench in the plans as well. But he's going to get a job. And Cleveland, worst opening in the league. Awful opening.
Oh, yeah. I do not want to get it.
At least Arizona, you get good weather.
The last one, we've
like, at least it's nice in Arizona. Cleveland, it's just smoky and raining.
It's cold.
And the team's terrible.
And the team is bad. Everyone hates you. You hate you. Why am I here? And then Callahan and Dable have been gone for a little while. I thought he had done enough to save his job. I'm glad this happened. I have nothing against him personally, but I'm glad Raheem Morris is gone.
Yeah.
I thought they would keep him. Especially after we win, like, hair catches on fire, win 4 games at the end of the season. I'm like, dude, they're going to bring him back. It's going to be an ugly year next year.
Dude, the GM getting fired is really telling what happened here. So I'm still not all the way out on Penix. I've not liked the development I've seen, but I think it's possible there's something there. But this is the telltale sign. I like when teams take big swings in the draft or trade or free agency. I like it. But if it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work fast, and the owner doesn't understand it, you saw the video when they drafted Penix, them trying to explain it to Arthur Blank. Dude, if you take a big swing and it doesn't work, that's your coaching life in the NFL. That's your GM life in the NFL. I mean, these are billion-dollar decisions of what quarterback is going to be our franchise guy. And if it doesn't work, man, owners don't like losing billions of dollars. Like, you just ask Clark Hunt, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, how much money he's made after they drafted Patrick Mahomes. A lot. These are billion-dollar decisions. These are billion-dollar industries. And at that position, man, if you take a big swing, you better get it right. And they may have, but they didn't get it right fast enough, and that's all she wrote. I think it's that simple. I think if they went 8-9, but the games looked different and Penix looked really good, I don't think there's a chance he gets fired. But man, when that's the position we're talking about, it goes quick.
Yeah, and I saw some people complaining online. They're like, "Oh, look at who Terry, Fontenot's drafted." Like, "Oh, well, he drafted Drake London. Oh, he drafted Bijan Robinson. He drafted Kyle Pitts. He drafted, these two, Pierce and Walker, who've turned out to be really good pass rushers. He drafted all this." I'm like, yes, but I'm fully with you. Like, he may have done all that. All those guys drafted Xavier Watts in the second round, who might win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He missed where it counted. And that is $100 million to Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix.
Yeah, $100 million to Kirk Cousins, and then a month later,
that's where you have to hit.
Yeah, you draft Penix, and like I said, man, there are players through every era of the NFL. There are great receivers, great running backs, great tight ends. You can have all of them and never win anything. It's about that position. It's about the guy getting them the ball. It's about the guy making reads. It's about the guy calling plays, and it's got to work fast, man. The NFL, Arthur Blank, I mean, it ain't like he's in his 50s. I mean, he's getting up there. and he wants wins, and he wants them now, and he didn't see enough.
And when we have the second longest playoff
that's
drought
tough.
outside of the Jets.
No, it's not.
That's not a good feeling.
Oh, my gosh. That's
not a good feeling. So, I did want this to happen. Like I said, I think Raheem Morris is a good guy. I've never seen anything negative about him personally. Like, I think he is a good defensive coach. I think he'll be a great assistant somewhere. He's not ready to be a head coach. Like, I could see it during the game. Some of the decision making, time management, just it wasn't there. I think he is a good coach, but he's not the man for the job right now.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. Like, dude, I'd be ecstatic if we got Stefanski. I don't know what we do at quarterback. He's got to figure out something there. But Atlanta is a fine job, though. I think Atlanta has we're missing the quarterback piece, and I get it. That is the most important piece. But we got a great defense, and you've got a great offensive line, and you've got outstanding weapons. If you can figure out something at quarterback,
and the division,
Atlanta will be a problem.
Division's not bad at all. I mean that's a fine job. That's a guess what? If
and
you
you're
ranked all the
Atlanta.
jobs, head coaching jobs, that's probably somewhere 10 to 15-ish, something like that. And that's just because they don't have a quarterback. If they had a quarterback, it'd be way higher. So if I was Stefanski, looking at these openings, I mean, dude, I might lean Atlanta, assuming, Harbaugh doesn't leave or McDermott, or assuming one of those guys don't lose their job. Of the ones available, I might pick Atlanta. So
I think it's a good spot.
I'm really only
it's a good spot. And the Bengals, of course, make an announcement that Zach Taylor's safe.
I was sitting next to Shelby when I saw that. And I said, I bet I get an angry text from Ben in the next 15 minutes. And I said, it has something to do with football. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get an angry text from Ben in 15 minutes. I think it was a little longer, but yeah.
You didn't, but
yeah. I think it was just busy, but I definitely got one later when you saw it. So, I don't know.
I guess, honestly, I didn't send an angry text because I fully expected this to happen. Because we've said this during the season. I don't know what the right decision is, but the Bengals are not going to make the right decision. And the Bengals ownership is cheap. They owe Zach. I mean, I think Zach Taylor, somebody said they lied, and like his contract is actually through like 2028 is how far they extended him a couple years ago. So
this is a completely unserious franchise. And yeah, that's the thing. Like winning. So in the NFL, I think they're the only ownership group that doesn't care about winning. Like, I bet, like, it feels to me like winning is like their fifth priority. Like, I think they want, I think they try to do things to win. I don't think the Bengals do. Like, I think it's like their fifth priority. Like Dallas, winning may be second priority to publicity, right? Having your name in the news. That's the number one priority. Winning is, but Jerry really wants to win. Like, truly in his heart wants to win. The Bengals, dude, I don't know if they do. Like, just the way they operate. Like, my gosh, I guarantee you, I would put I'd put the whole 401k. If they fire Zach Taylor, they get a call from Kevin Stefanski wanting to interview there. I want to go back there. I'll be in this division. I'll take Joe Burrow. I'll take Jamar Chase. I'll take this offense. And I'll get to play Cleveland all the time. And I'll get to beat up on them for 10 years. I guarantee you he would want that job. But why not? Zach Taylor, it's going to cost you a little money to buy him out. So why you can't do that? I mean, you can't spend money.
No, absolutely not. They had to sell the naming rights to pay their quarterback.
It's really frustrating. And I'll go back to baseball for a second. As a baseball fan, there's like 8 or 10 teams in the MLB where it's like ownership feels like winning is not their top priority. Like it's very common in the MLB. The NFL salary cap league, it's just not the case. They make so much money that you can pay everybody. It's not like there's not a bunch of teams in the NFL that it feels like are not trying to win. The Bengals might be the only one that like seems like they are not willing to do what is necessary to win.
And that's the sad part is they are, if of all the teams that like could have fired a head coach, that's the best opening. And not because of the ownership, but like, dude, I can win with Joe Burrow. I can win with Jamar Chase. I can make this work. There's nothing you can make work in Arizona. There's nothing you can make work in New York. There's nothing you can make work in Vegas.
If I'm a head coach, truly, the only two things I really care about is a little bit division, honestly. But the only two things I really care about is owner and quarterback. And they have an A+ in one and an F in one. So I think it balances. I don't know if a coach is going to be able to go in there and really make it work because of the ownership. Honestly, that's how my Washington Commanders were until 2 years ago when Dan Snyder sold the team. I knew as a fan, there is nothing we can do to make this work with Dan Snyder's the owner. I think that's the situation the Bengals are in. It's not good, man. It's not good. Joe Burrow almost won a Super Bowl despite it, and that might be his best chance. I don't know, man.
It's just because he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Well, I mean, we're at a good stopping point there, but I hope Burrow and the Bengals are able to like put their the players are able to put their feet down and either get out of there.
We'll see.
Something. We'll see. But this is only episode 1 of the week. We have a I'm very excited.
Thrilled
to record our next episode. We will be doing a playoff preview, and I don't know how we're going to attack it, during the playoffs. If we'll just have 1 or 2 episodes, we'll see. But nonetheless, I'm very excited to record our next one. Anything you want to add before we hop off here?
Nope. I think we're good. Excited for playoff football.
Nope. Well, this is one of the better times of the year. I would say week 1 is the best time of the year, but this is up there. We'll see you guys in a couple days.